Yep, that was my studio. It's gone now. And as you can see, this is not my studio anymore because I moved back to my parents for a few weeks or maybe months even, because we are currently in the process of clearing out our old house, which will get demolished, and we will get a new sort of tiny compact house. I'm really excited, and I thought I will just show you because there's not much else I can currently show you. All projects are a bit postponed and will start in the next few weeks, I guess. And as you've heard, I'm currently doing a remote residency, and also the projects from that residency are in the process of getting started now. So let's have a look at the house clearing process, I'd say. And that was actually a part of the kitchen. So what we are doing currently is removing everything that we can remove ourselves. That is the floors, like the drywall, wall stuff, some electric, wiring and lamps, and also ceilings, and all the mineral wool from the isolation layer. It is quite tedious, and what you can see here are the construction frames to hold in the mineral wool and to hold on the drywall. By the way, don't handle the mineral wool as I do. If the wool comes in contact with your skin and sweat, it will be super itchy and you might get a rash. I really underestimated how nasty that stuff is, especially the older glass wool type. We also had to figure out how to properly dispose the different materials. Wood was quite easy because our local community has a special container where we can dump old wood. But for mineral wool and drywall, we contacted a special company who recycles and disposes building materials. For drywall, you just drive there with your car, it gets weighed, and you pay for that. And for mineral wool, you get these super large white sacks that you can pack the wool into. So that's what the inside of the house currently looks like. It's a huge, big mess. And outside you can see my exhausted partner examining all the stuff we threw out. But I have to say, it's super interesting to find out how this house was constructed. You can retrace some building decisions and also parts that were remodeled later on. The walls are mainly made from red clay bricks, and the floors and ceilings are a mixture of wood construction and concrete. Well, empty pipes for cables weren't a thing, so you have these weirdly laid out cables everywhere. Also, we removed several layers of paint and wallpaper, and it's fun to imagine how the rooms must have looked when the house was initially set up. Oh, and this tiny someone was not happy at all with the process. This is my cat Thales. Most of the time he relaxes in the garden, is just lazy and watches us work. But when he comes inside of the house, he seemed to be really confused. Oh, by the way, on the right side of this video you can see two big holes. And these are from our wood stove, because heating with wood was our main heating source, and we had one stove in the basement, and then each room has a hot air vent that is connected to that. And on a lot of walls, hidden behind the mineral wool, we found lots of scribbles, marks and calculations written down by the construction workers. And here you can see the current state of the clearing process. We started with the next floor. That's the tiny gallery, hiding a lot of nasty glass wool. And yeah, I will keep you updated on how this whole project proceeds. And also something happened in July that I think I never really talked about in one of my videos. Remember the Angry Fingers project I did earlier this year? I made an angry finger generator to draw attention to a promised governmental Corona help fund for artists that never paid out. Or, as it turns out, they finally did pay out, sort of. So I got a phone call that I was one of 10 applicants who would receive the Corona help money. This would happen with a fancy ceremony because the money is declared as a scholarship. Which is weird, but, well, okay. So I drove to Munich and brought several angry finger flyers with me. I hoped that I could give them to some sort of press people there. But as it turns out, only the governmental house press people were there to shoot photos. Overall, it was a very weird show. Getting this scholarship certificate for applying to a help fund and only being there because I was randomly chosen out of a pool of 5,000 people? Oh well, and the press statement they released later also mentioned only on the very side that it's actually money to help artists because of Corona. It more read like it was a regular scholarship they would give out to young artists because of their work. So I'm very sure that they tried to cover up their mess. This help money now comes half a year later than promised. And even worse, I know of applicants that still have not heard back 9 months later. So if you are a German citizen and you are allowed to vote in this upcoming election, maybe keep this story in mind. But to wrap up with a nice thing, at least I smuggled one of my flyers onto the official press photo. Yeah, okay, maybe it's not super visible, but I know it's there. Ha! So this is what's currently happening around here. I made a nice plan of what kind of videos I want to do in the near future, and I will try to be more on the 1 week or 2 week schedule. So if you want to see more about the house process, about the tiny house that is coming, maybe subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!